I'm Tracy Osborne, and you're listening to the Daring Woman podcast. Imagine the story of a generation being altered by women who were empowered to live their truth and in turn can empower others to live theirs. It's time to rewrite the narrative. Hi, ladies. Welcome to another episode of the Daring Woman podcast. I am your host, Tracy Osborne. With me today is Sharron Clear. And we are going to talk a lot about a lot of things, but one of the things I really want to talk about is how as women, we just do it all, right? I recently took in a family of four, a mom and her three girls, who was trying to escape an abusive boyfriend. And I brought them in with me, even though, we don't have the room, we're stacking people to the ceiling, but so today I am at home working with her two babies while she's at work. So if you hear the babies in the background, bear with me. I've got my daughter here helping me too. She's home not feeling well, so she's like on keep the babies quiet duty. But it's just we see something that needs to get done and we just do it. We just jump in and do it, whether it's in our personal lives or in our business or for somebody else. And that's just one of the things I absolutely love about being a woman and, being around other women. And Sharron is no different. She's done the same thing. So Sharron, welcome to the show.
Hello. Thanks so much for having me.
I am so excited to have you here. So you're kind of the same way. You just jump in and get her done.
Well, yeah, it's a work in progress, but that's what I've been doing for the last few years, starting over after divorce and raising three children and being a homeowner and the whole nine. Yes, just get it done. Don't just get it done. Just do what we do. And it's been amazing. I mean, I've changed my life and by being on social media and just we do what we do as women for sure.
Absolutely. But, your life, from what I read in your bio is not the life that you had planned for yourself when you were a little girl. We all have those fantasies of what our life is going to be like when we grow up. And yours kind of went like the complete opposite direction.
Oh yeah, complete opposite. Growing up in a household with all girls and, we were fashionistas all of our lives. My sisters and I, we both played sports and, I've had a few tragedies in my life. I had a sister that was killed by a drunk driver and it was not what I had expected it would be even now. It's been a shocker for sure.
Well, I'm so sorry to hear about your sister. That's absolutely horrific. But that led you to kind of be an activist for Mothers Against Drunk Drivers, right?
Yes. I mean, I started with that. I mean, it was really a hard time for me growing at that time because I saw my parents going through so much. I mean, I didn't grow up in a house. I mean, my father would always tell us, just to do the right thing. And we had no idea that this tragedy would strike us the way it did. My mother went through a nervous breakdown after it. And it was a tough time for us. And we stood together and we fought through it. And we worked toward trying to, the drunk driving is just a bad thing. So I worked tirelessly with that.
I, as a mom of four, I can't even imagine or even begin to imagine what your mom went through losing a child. I think I would have probably have a complete nervous breakdown myself.
Yeah.
That's like one of my biggest fears.
Yes, it was so hard for her. And I mean, even to this day, it's been so long. Sure. She is still with her. I mean, it's just, I mean, I think about my sister every day. I wonder what she would be like and what she would be doing. And her birthday, my sisters and I said, oh, she would be, whatever. And it's one of those things. I can't even imagine anything happening to my children, but it's a terrible, terrible thing as a parent.
Right. Yeah, this little one here agrees. um, so you grew up, you wanted to be kind of a fashionista yourself, and instead you became a mom and a wife.
Right, right. Yeah, that changed my whole, I went off to college and I didn't graduate at that time. I came back home and a few years later I was married and off to Kansas City. That's the first city we lived. And then I started having children and one baby led to another. And my life just kind of became family. And that journalist that I thought that I would be took a back burner and it never happened. And but things work out the way they work out. And I had a great marriage. It was turmoil and here and there, but I found my way out and I just started over from scratch as a single mom. So yeah, it's been some trials for sure.
Well, that's kind of how life goes. It's never smooth sailing. It's only smooth sailing for a short time, and then you hit another bumpy road.
Exactly. Yeah, it's been one of those challenges where you just keep going. You just pick up and say, okay, what am I going to do? Am I going to stay here in this sad place? Or am I going to just pick up and do the best that I can? Because I knew that I had to work and do for my children. I couldn't give up, just because of them. I had to keep fighting and keep going because of them.
So, it's interesting that you talk about the fact that, once you had the kids, you kind of put your life on pause. And I think with so many of us, we do that. I know that I did. There's so many things that I want to do that I still want to do, but I put all of that on pause until I was done raising kids. And I've been raising kids since I was 19. I'm 47. So I'm tired. I'm tired. I'm ready for me now. And, I think I've got 2 more years left with my girls, and I'm on a roller coaster. I'm on this hurry up and get out. No, don't shrink back down and go back to being 4 again,
You think about that and you want them to grow up, and then you're like, oh my God, when are you going to leave? But then you're stuck like, okay, what am I going to do? And I've had these children all my life, and I'm waiting for them. I have to talk to women who are no longer have anybody at home. I can't even imagine that process. I don't even know what that looks like.
Just think about silence,
Really?
cleaning, organized.
Right. Everything is clean and spotless. You don't have to worry about, because I have boys, so they're video games and screaming,
sports equipment and wrestling.
Yes, the screaming at 1 a.m. I hear like screaming. They're playing games because they go online now and play different people, and
right.
It's insane. And I'm looking like, oh my gosh. So yeah.
So, but I think that there's a way that we can have both, and you've done it. You've been able to figure it out. I've been able to figure it out as far as having family and career and being entrepreneurs. So let's talk a little bit about your entrepreneur journey back into fashion.
Yeah, it was one, Tracy, I've always loved fashion. Like I said earlier, I grew up loving fashion. I started thrifting when I was 13. I designed my own prom dress, the whole thing, but I never could have imagined being in fashion like this, like posting on Instagram. I started just on a whim because I put it off. I wanted to blog years before. And I was just afraid. I was afraid to just share my story and to share my loves. And I just did it on a whim. I just said, okay, if they can do it, if other people can do it, I can do it. And I just started. And now I've worked with countless brands and continuously so many opportunities. And now with my website launching, it's going to be even more opportunities. So yeah, it's really exciting.
That is awesome. And y'all, her website is absolutely gorgeous. I was on there this morning and I'm like, oh my God, I'm on your website. It is beautiful. She's like, really? I just launched it. Like, nobody knows it's even live yet. I was like, well, I found it and it is divine. So make sure you click the link down below if you're on the website and go check it out. It's beautiful. So how in the world, okay, so I'm looking at your numbers here. You have like over 70,000 followers on Instagram, 3,500 on Facebook, 5,100 on Twitter. And I know a lot of my listeners are bloggers or women who would love to become influencers. So what's your secret?
I would tell everybody to do what you love, and it's all about consistency. I have been faithful and consistent with building my brand. It's something nobody else can do but you, and I have been consistent. I post, I engage, I research, I learn as much as I can about the industry, about different things to do. And it's just been one of those things where I just continue to work on me. You know, I'm still working 9 to 5 and I'm working I want to work so hard where I'm working it's too much for me to go to that job anymore. So that's my goal, is to work on my life. This is, working for somebody else. That's okay if that's what you want, but I want to focus on building my life my way. And that's what I've been working toward to do.
That is fantastic. And I have no doubt that I bet by this time next year, you'll be kissing that 9 to 5 goodbye.
Oh yeah. And that's Tracy.
If not sooner.
Yeah, I thank you so much for that, because I said that the other day, like in my head, I was like, this is the last. I work for FedEx, and it's a holiday season, and it's completely madness. I work at the corporate office, and it's madness. And I said, this is my last Christmas. This is my last holiday doing. I can't. You love the company. It's made its way, but its time is ending.
Yeah. I have not worked for an employer since 2008.
Oh my God.
I started my original company, my virtual assistant company, in 2007, late 2007, and quit my job in, I think it was like April of 2018. I gave notice before that, but I gave like a 30-day notice. And I couldn't imagine going back to working for somebody who dictates my time. And I'd be like, no, I can't do this. Can't do this. Sorry. I got way too much going on to be able to do that. So, I get it. And I have no doubt, girl, that you're going to be there. You're going to be gone by next Christmas.
Yeah, kudos to you, because it takes a different drive, and it takes a different motivation to go out on your own and to step out on faith and say, I have to do this. And kudos to you for sure.
Thank you. So, before we wrap up, do you have any words of advice, pearls of wisdom to give to our listeners who are thinking about maybe, taking the plunge and following their heart and doing whatever it is that they've always dreamed about doing?
Yeah, I would tell anybody, don't look to anybody. Look inside yourself, look inside your own soul, and look inside you, and decide on what you want to do. I mean, we can read self-help books and podcasts and, and so many things, but until you decide for yourself in your heart, this is what I want to do, and go after it. Because I didn't really have a lot of support. Nobody really helped me. So, and it's nothing wrong with seeking that help, but sometimes you got to be your own motivation. You got to be your own inspiration. And that's what I've been. And I would tell anybody, you can do it too. Just get it in your head and get it in your heart that this is what I want to do, and just go after it.
I love it. I love it. And, if you don't have the support like Sharron was talking about, then you need to go join us over in our Facebook group. I know you're rolling your eyes because I say this at the end of every show, but go join us in the Facebook group, our Daring Woman group. And that is where you're going to find the support. We are going to be your cheerleaders, and we will be there when times are great, and we will be there when times are not great. So head over to facebook.com/groups/Daring Woman and join us over there. It's a safe group. What happens in that group stays in that group. So we'll see you over there. Sharron, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me, Tracy. It's been a pleasure. Hopefully I'll see you sometime soon.
Well, we're neighbors, basically. We both live in the Atlanta metro area. So yeah, we're definitely going to have to meet up for sure.
Yes, but thanks so much for having me. You have a good week and a good weekend, and I'll talk to you soon.
Thank you. And ladies, thank you as always for tuning in. We'll see you in the Facebook group, and we'll talk to you next week on the show.